How's it going, guys? We are Pop Culture Corner, back again for the fall semester. I am your host, Troy, joined by my other hosts,
Sri
and Ethan.
And today we're going to be bringing you a little bit of the Emmy talks that happened last week. We're going to be starting off with our host, Mr. Stephen Colbert, one of my actual favorite comedians, actually, even politically and not. I think he's a perfect choice for hosting this year's Emmys.
Yeah, and talk about that Sean Spicer little cameo there. I mean, the man's sort of become a meme of himself at this point.
I did not see that coming at all.
Did not see that coming.
And I physically got off my chair and cheered when he came out.
I thought it was just very unexpected and weird. Yeah, okay, they're having a figure come out and do talks for the Emmys and do little skits for it. But it worked out. I thought it was funny and went exactly to the tone they were trying to set.
I mean, there was a lot of political jabs going on in the first opening monologue. There were a lot of shots, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into the nitty-gritty and go with Best Limited Series, which was Big Little Lies. I have actually not seen Big Little Lies. I'm not too familiar with it. Have you guys watched any of it at all?
No.
I dabbled in it. It's a decent show. Very well directed and written. I can't say how it ended or anything because it wasn't my style of shows. But obviously, it got a lot of awards, so they're doing something right over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a little bit surprised with. I thought I would have picked Sherlock as my best. I didn't even get nominated. I think Sherlock. I had seen had something. In one of my classes, actually, they were talking about it should have been nominated for Best Limited Series. Which
it did get nominated for something. I don't remember what category, but it did get nominated for something.
Really? Because I thought Sherlock's really gone downhill, especially with this latest season. Yeah, I thought it was. But I mean, that's a discussion for another day. But let's just say, yeah. Moving on to Best Comedy, I guess. Which was Veep, I believe?
Yes.
Veep.
I actually just started watching that show very recently because I heard it's been getting a lot of the Emmy reviews and everything like that and nominations, and it actually is quite funny. It is very, very funny. It's almost like an Office-style show just without the talking heads, and I think it's hilarious and funny.
It is, and it's also very well written. And Julie Louis-Dreyfus. I can always have trouble saying her name. She is constantly just a perfect comedian. From Seinfeld to now, she's just beautiful woman and great at comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even though Atlanta didn't win for Best Comedy, I think it's pretty impressive though how Donald Glover got both for directing and for acting in it, which I think is worth mentioning. Even though it still didn't win, it had its own awards that it got. And then I guess moving on to Best Drama.
Yes.
Sure, Best Drama with Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
I had not actually seen the show, but I have actually read the book. And the book itself was very interesting and very dark. And something that I think a lot of people didn't realize without watching the show is it's not set as far back in the past as a lot of people would have thought. It's set back in maybe the late 80s, early 90s. It's a very modern thing, which makes it kind of turn into a dystopian little twist on it.
Yeah,
that actually surprised me a lot. That show took so many awards home, and I heard really nothing about it. No one really told me if it was good or bad. I heard occasional murmurs, but that completely took me by surprise at how many awards it really took home.
Yeah. And you want to just talk about what we thought should have won? Because for me personally, I think that Westworld got horribly, horribly duped out of the Best Drama.
I think I do think I didn't finish Westworld. I'm still in the middle of it. But I think Westworld is really good. I just think, too, that for Hulu's first outing with, their solo, they're jumping into their own solo thing Netflix is doing, I think Handmaid's Tale actually, far overcame expectations, in my opinion. So I think it had the most to prove, and I feel like it really did prove that.
Yeah, I mean, really there's also, obviously, a lot of Netflix shows. So streaming is definitely taking over.
Right.
And Netflix with Master of None, I was so happy that Aziz Ansari won for Best Writing for a Comedy Series, I believe.
Yeah.
It was, if you haven't watched the show, it's phenomenal, and especially that Thanksgiving episode. 100% worth watching the show for.
Mm-hmm.
For Best Comedy, though, I think one of the things that should have won, that was one of my favorites, would have been Silicon Valley. But again, another HBO show. HBO just kind of dominated here a little bit, and it is moving to streaming. But that's a little bit for our Emmy talks today, guys. Stick around. We got some other great shows coming up for you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.